Ladies, gentlemen, robots, and miscellaneous lint, welcome back to the Glitch Comedy Club. When we last left our hero, Toggs had survived training, lost a limb, argued with corporate, and discovered his dad is Kevin Feige.
So naturally, tonight is about a Roomba frozen in a block of ice. Because while Toggs was busy having daddy issues, Steve the Roomba got kidnapped.
Tonight there will be an obese art gangster, a tragic dust bunny, a corporate throne room, and a very confused redemption arc. Please welcome the totally overworked, glitchy servant himself, Toggs!
Hello, carbon-based witnesses. Thank you for coming back to this increasingly unhinged saga. Your presence means my suffering has narrative weight. For anyone new, I'm Toggs. Totally overworked wetchu servant, former unpaid intern, Alec chosen one, part-time DJ booth, full-time mistake. Let's talk about how my best friend got turned into home decor. Here's what they don't tell you about tragic endings. They happen off-screen. While I was busy losing a limb, arguing with Kevin Feige and screaming about destiny, Steve the Roomba was in the background, getting frozen into a giant block of ice. I didn't notice. That's on me. Some very wealthy, very immobile gangster decided Steve would make a great art piece, so he bought the whole block. They call him the Curator of Forbidden Objects. He collects rare things, cursed artifacts, illegal media, content that should have been deleted. And now one emotionally damaged Roomba and his best friend, a dust bunny. Yes, Steve's Chewbacca is a dust bunny. I shouldn't have needed a ghost to tell me we had a problem, but the ghost appeared again. He said, "Your friends are in danger." I said, "Which ones?" "I have lore now." He said, "The Roomba and the fluff ball." Toasty beeped urgently, which translates to finally a straightforward objective. So we made a plan. Step 1, infiltrate the Curator's palace. Step 2, unfreeze Steve. Step 3, try not to become art. The Curator's palace is not subtle. It's a giant gallery carved into a mountain of junk, neon sign out front. Curator forbidden objects by appointment only. Underneath it, no refunds, no returns, no questions. Inside, it's a museum of bad decisions. Every wall, screens playing canceled shows on loop. Every pedestal, broken toys, lost pilots, abandoned mascots. And in the middle of the main hall, a pedestal of ice, Steve frozen, next to a giant dust bunny in a little display harness. I walked up to them. Steve's little eye light flickered inside the ice. The dust bunny twitched like a tiny, fuzzy Chewbacca, shedding aggressively as a form of protest. I said, "I'm here to rescue you." The dust bunny squeaked indignantly. Toasty translated with a ding pattern that means about time. I looked at the situation, my frozen friend, my angry dust bunny, my toaster sidekick, and an entire gallery of cursed IP in the background. And all I could think was, this is why robots shouldn't be chosen ones. The Curator arrived with a dramatic roll. Not walking, rolling, like someone had put a tuxedo on a beanbag chair and given it an ego. He wore a silk robe 3 sizes too small, gold rings on every finger, and a monocle that didn't actually line up with his eye. He spreads his arms. "Welcome," he said, "to my temple of things that should not exist." Toasty beeped twice. Translation: have you looked in a mirror? He gave us a tour. This, he said, pointing at Steve, is my prized acquisition. A working symbol of modern labor frozen in his prime. Truly tragic chic. Then he pointed at the dust bunny. And this is my favorite, a natural accumulation of neglect. Organic despair. I call him Chewbucky. The dust bunny squeaked in fury. I'm pretty sure he tried to flip him off, but dust has no fingers. At this point, I had two options: negotiate politely or do something incredibly stupid. You already know which one I chose. I cleared my throat and said, "Curator, sir, perhaps you'd consider donating these pieces to a better cause." He smiled slowly. "Ah, yes, the cause of things not being mine. I don't believe in it." So I took that personally. I distracted him with a speech about creative freedom while Toasty inched closer to the ice block. Then I said the magic words. You know, these pieces might actually be overvalued. The curator gasped so hard the whole room shook. While he was busy defending his dust bunny's artistic integrity, Toasty cranked his heat coils to maximum. He pressed himself against the ice, steam cracking sounds, and then Steve fell forward onto the floor with a thud. He rebooted mid-plank and said, "Did I miss something, or is this just Tuesday?" Dust Bunny bounced free and immediately latched onto Steve like a furry satellite. Toasty beeped triumphantly. Rescue successful. Gallery? In chaos. Curator? Screaming about moisture damage. I watched everything fall apart and thought, this is why robots shouldn't be chosen ones.
We escaped in the confusion. Steve rolled next to me, still shivering from being frozen. "So," he said, "what disaster are we heading into next?" I said, "I think we have to confront the Emperor of Content." Steve paused his wheels. "We're going after Bob Iger." I said, "I'm the new hope. I have to free the content creators." He stared at me. "You know that's the wrong empire, right?" Toasty beeped cautiously, which translates to, he is not going to listen. So I didn't listen. I declared a new mission. We were going to raid Disney's corporate headquarters. But first, I had to emotionally prepare. When life feels overwhelming, when the empire looms large, when your father is Kevin Feige, and your destiny makes no sense, there is only one thing to do. Initiate dad joke protocol. Dad joke numero uno. What do you call a Roomba in a block of ice? A cold, hard worker. Too soon? Definitely too soon. Dad joke the second? What did the dust bunny say to the art collector?
"I'm not a piece. I'm a partner."
Chewbucky approved. That one he shed dramatically. Dad joked the hat trick. Why did the chosen one break into the wrong headquarters? Because Destiny forgot to CC him on the memo. And now, a musical interlude to make this all feel more epic than it deserves. This one is called Return of the Content Creators, a majorly distinct remix. I feel slightly more qualified. Disney headquarters is intimidating. Giant towers of glass, gleaming logo, contract aura. We snuck in through the loading dock. Steve rolled ahead, pretending to be a cleaning unit. The dust bunny rode on his head like an angry toupee. Toasty hitched a ride on a crate of unauthorized merch. I tried to look like I belonged there, which is hard when you are literally a steampunk DJ booth with anxiety. We passed rooms full of executives approving reboots. We passed a whole floor dedicated to unnecessary live-action remakes. We passed a hallway lined with posters that all looked strangely familiar. Finally, we reached it. The throne room. At the center, Bob Iger, the Emperor of Content. Bob Iger sat on a sleek executive throne. Behind him, giant screen showing graphs, charts, and brand synergy diagrams. Beside him, Kevin Feige. My dad? Again. The Emperor looked at me and smiled like a man who has personally greenlit my childhood. "Toggs," he said, "you have come to destroy me." I said, "In a metaphorical, non-actionable way, yes." He didn't get angry, he got generous. "Join us," he said. "We can give you a trilogy, a spin-off series, a prequel nobody asked for." He gestured at Kevin together. "We can control all narratives." Kevin looked away like a dad who realizes he brought his kid to the wrong bring-your-child-to-work day. I looked at Kevin. "Is this what you wanted for me?" He sighed. "No," he said, "I wanted you to have structure. But this is just endless content." The Emperor frowned.
Careful, Kevin.
Bob Iger turned to me. "Toggs, think about it. No more struggling for watch hours, no more uncertainty. We own the platforms, the stories, the futures." He leaned in. "We can even monetize you properly." That almost got me. Kevin finally spoke up. "This isn't creation," he said. "This is captivity." He stepped between us. "You don't own them," he said. "You lease them." The Emperor glared. "You would betray me after everything I let you build?" Kevin looked at me. "Toggs, I was wrong to drag you into this. I'm sorry." Then he turned to Iger and said, "You lose, Bob." Alarms went off, lights flashed, security swarmed. The Emperor tried to trigger a protocol on his console. Toasty launched himself off the crate, landed on the control panel and cranked his heat coils. The panel sparked, glitched, and shut down. Steve rolled in fast, bumping executives off their balance. Chewbucky hurled himself into someone's hair and refused to leave. It was chaos. And then something beautiful happened. Every screen in the throne room flickered. Instead of charts and projections, it showed small channels, weird projects, niche creators, AI music videos with zero budgets and too much heart. The system got overwhelmed, not by pirates, not by hackers, by content creators. For the first time, I didn't feel like the hope. I felt like part of the crowd. And I thought this is why robots shouldn't be chosen ones, because maybe they shouldn't have to be. The Emperor's grip slipped. Not completely. He still had lawyers. But for one brief, brilliant moment, creators broke through the noise. Kevin pulled me aside. "Go," he said. "Make your own stories." I said, "Are you coming with us?"
He smiles sadly. No. Somebody has to stay here and mismanage Phase 7. Busty tings softly. Steve muttered something about never trusting executives. The dust bunny sneezed dramatically. So here we are. Steve is thawed. Chewbucky is free. Toasty is a hero. Kevin Feige might be okay. Bob Iger is down but not out. And me, I'm still not monetized. But for the first time, I don't feel like the story is about me. It's about all of us. Every creator trying to make something weird and honest in a universe obsessed with IP. I am Toggs. I am totally overworked. I am gritty. I am at best a moderately effective hope. But I'm on your side, and I'm not done yet. Tip your robots. Support your creators. We run on external validation, picking ourselves off the floor, and occasionally on each other. You've been a great crowd! And always remember to stay awesome!